From natural disasters to health crises, we are sure to face challenging times. And yet, for more than 100 years, Sertomans have been there to provide service and support to communities throughout North America. Sertoma is dedicated to helping cities all over the United States and Canada weather these literal and proverbial storms. It is during these difficult days that our clubs find themselves asking where we can donate and how we can help. We want to know that whether we are donating our dollars or our time, it is having the biggest impact that it can. Here are just a few ways your club can have a positive effect at the local and national levels. First, let's start off by how you can help right in your own backyard. I'd encourage your club to do some pre-planning. It's important to periodically take a look at what your club can give in times of emergency. This doesn't stop at financial support either. You may also want to think about what volunteers you could have available at a moment's notice, perhaps even designating a special group or committee accordingly. And what about shelter? Does your club have members' homes or a shared general space that it could offer up as shelter should the need arise? Next, let's think about when a crisis actually occurs. One of the first things you will need to find out is what is immediately needed in your area. This will often be communicated through local government and emergency agencies. It's better to find out what they actually need rather than overwhelm them with an agenda of your own. Even when it comes with good intentions, there are going to be times when they have too much help in one area and none at all in another. On a somewhat similar wavelength, consider what populations are at greatest risk of not being served. At-risk populations are often broadly categorized, but according to the National Institutes of Health, they can include but are not limited to the poor, disabled, economically disadvantaged, homeless, racial and ethnic minorities, persons with low literacy, abuse victims, and those with social risk factors such as isolation. How can your club help serve one or more of these groups? And finally, back to that pre-planning. Does your club have dedicated funds for these kinds of situations? An emergency giving fund can be a great way to make sure that your club is budgeting for these unexpected needs. While we hope that we will never have to dip into those accounts, it can be reassuring to know that such a fund exists should your club feel moved to assist in times of great need. When natural disasters strike or the economy takes a downturn, many local pantries find themselves having to unexpectedly serve extra people. This can be an easy and immediate way for your club to get involved in the community. However, it's not just food they need. Local pantries also collect cleaning and hygiene supplies. Whether you go door to door to collect items, partner with a local business to set up a collection hub, or just gather items from your members, these much needed donations can have a significant impact on those who need it most. Your club can also consider giving a financial gift. Food pantries usually have connections with grocery wholesalers and can use donated funds to get food at very special prices. Pantry managers can use the funds to purchase what they know is truly needed at the time, or to purchase supplies to keep their employees and volunteers safe. Along the same lines of food, let's talk a little bit about Meals on Wheels. This wonderful organization delivers food to our most vulnerable populations, especially the elderly. It is made up of a network of more than 5,000 independent and locally run programs, meaning that there is likely an opportunity in nearly every community that our clubs serve. Meals on Wheels is often looking for volunteers to help bring prepared meals to its recipients. However, their needs don't stop there. They can also use financial support to help cover food, transportation, and sanitation costs. Like with any organization, it's a good idea to reach out to your local Meals on Wheels to see where your club can be of greatest assistance before planning out exactly how you'll help. Blood and plasma. There's always going to be a need for it. People tend to make donations when emergencies happen. But what about those in between times? Develop a consistent partnership with your local blood bank by offering to set up regular blood drives or help with other community events. When health safety is a prime concern in your community, giving blood can be an especially anxious time. It's important to remind your members and other volunteers that blood donation centers are extremely safe. These entities take extra precautions when it comes to sanitation and donor protection. One especially fun way to promote your volunteerism with a blood drive is to organize a donation challenge amongst your members. After all, for every individual donation your club gives, you're helping as many as 3 people in your community. And what about our furry friends? We can't forget them. Your club can be a great community ally by volunteering with these worthy organizations. You might put together an adoption drive, offer to come in to bathe and play with animals, or help man their booth at community fairs and events. Just like your local food pantry, your local animal shelter also needs help getting food. Your club can put together a supply drive or collect donatable items at your next meeting. Gently used towels and blankets are often in demand, so don't forget to think about your local rescue the next time you declutter your linen closet. Many clubs hold coat drives in the winter, so why not put together something similar for an animal shelter too? One final idea is to think about working with your local Boys and Girls Club. This is a favorite charitable partner of many Sertoma clubs throughout the United States. Many clubs find that their needs grow exponentially during times when kids are out of school. However, emergencies can have a significant impact too. Essential workers have to work longer hours, which means that the Boys and Girls Club may have more kids in their child care programs. This equates to a need for more volunteer and financial support. Remember, because you're working with kids, special rules and regulations may apply. Work closely with leaders at your local Boys and Girls Club to make sure that you are meeting their requirements. This can also be a great time for your club to think nationally. Of course, we would always encourage you to think about how your club can help Sertoma and its National Hearing Health Mission. However, we know that we're not the only game in town. Assistive organizations like the Red Cross, Center for Disease Control, Center for Disaster Philanthropy, and Feeding America are all worthwhile causes that can benefit from your expertise, volunteerism, and monetary support. The cool thing about working with these national entities is that they often have locally organized efforts. Make sure to reach out to contacts in your area to see how you can work with them. You might even find opportunities to partner with other local nonprofits as part of a larger initiative, all in the name of service to mankind. And finally, don't forget one of the most important things your club can do is keep your giving status quo. Charities suffer in times of crisis too. People are unable to give the same money, time, goods, and services that many nonprofits rely on. So if you can continue to give at your regular level, and maybe even kick in a little extra, there is no better way to support the organizations that you already love. This concludes today's training. We hope that this has helped your club start the conversation about how it can best help your community in times of great need. You can learn more about how your club can be of service to mankind through the additional resources and trainings available in our Member Center at members.sertoma.org. We encourage you to share your work with fellow Sertomans in our members only group on Facebook at the link on your screen.